let's talk about tort. Okay, these are very practical because sooner or later you will meet this case on the applicability of tort. So there are two kinds of tort in general. One is intentional and the other one is negligent. Okay, so both are still the person doing the committing the crime is still liable. Okay, so when I say tort, these are acts which causes damage to another. So you may be held still liable whether the act is intentional or done negligently. Now, we go to the direct tortfeasor. The one who will be held liable is called the tortfeasor. Who will be held liable on acts, for example, of employee done in performance of his or her duty. Who will be held liable? It is the employee himself. Okay? Now, however, in the absence of the liability of the employee, then the employer will be held subsidiarily liable. Subsidiarily liable. Example of subsidiary liability. Teachers. Okay, teachers who did not probably exercise due care, like giving a precautionary measure just to avoid accident. For example, the teacher did not inform the class of the possible danger, will be held liable. Okay? But in the absence of that instances where the faculty is not held liable, the school will also be held subsidiarily liable. Subsidiarily liable meaning the school will shoulder. It is as if it is the school that commits the crime, literally. Now, we go to what is quasi-delect? Quasi-delect in relation to the topic on tort refers to acts or omission which cause damage to another, there being fault or negligence on the part of the defendant. Okay? So, if there is fault, then it is called quasi-delect. Fault, what do you mean by fault? It is his intention, or the one who commits the crime will be held liable because he is negligent. Okay? So, acts meaning it's he who performed, or omission, he did not perform but still causes damage. Okay? So, both acts or omission, if it caused damage even with fault, then it's called quasi-delect. What are the elements? One is that damage or prejudice suffered by the plaintiff, which must be proven, of course. And the second is that the unlawful act or omission amounting to fault or negligence. And then the third is that there is a connection between the fault or negligence of the defendant, acts or damage incurred by the plaintiff. Okay, so in the Article 2180 of the New Civil Code provides that one is not only liable for his own quasi-delictual acts, but also for those persons for whom he is responsible under the law. So it talks here about the liability of the person who commits the crime. Okay? The liability for the acts of others enumerated in the article is popularly known as the vicarious liability. What do you mean by vicarious liability? The person who is under the employ of another is not only solely liable. Okay, the employer is also liable. Okay, under liability is what? Solidary. What do you mean by solidary liability? You can collect from the person who personally commits the crime or the other party. Example of that is if a crime committed by a partner in a partnership. Okay? The crime committed by a partner is also can also be collected, or the other party may be also held liable. So even if he is not the one who commits the crime. Okay? So if a crime committed by a partnership, the other party who commits the crime, the liability can still be collected by another to another partner because their liability is solidary.